ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲೇಷನ್ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಅದಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಂತ ನೆಟ್.
ಅದು ಇಲ್ದೇನೆ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಇಲ್ದೇನೆ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದಾ?
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಈ ಥಿಯರಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಡಾಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು
ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಅದರ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಸರಿ ಸರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮುಗಿತದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತನ ದೇರ್ ಗಿವ್ ಫುಲ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ.
ಓಕೆ, ಹಂಗೆ ಸರಿ ಸರಿ.
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯೂರಸ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸಾವಿರ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡೇಟಾ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಅದೇ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಹಾಂ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಲೋ ಇದೆ. ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ.
ಇದರ PDF ಏನಂತ? PDSCG PDF ಮಾಡ್ರಿ
ಅದೇ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು.
ಆಗ್ಯದ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಅದೇ ಇತ್ತು.
ಹಾ.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ
Don't talk. Don't talk. Technical team members, please see to that students are maintaining silence.
Anybody successfully installed Android? Instead of that, take your laptop and install through hotspot or your own mobile data. Sit outside for 5 minutes.
ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ಹಾಂ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅದೇ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ರನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ರನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ನೀವು ಹೊಸದೇ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು.
ನಿಮ್ದೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಹಾಟ್ಸ್ಪಾಟ್.
ಹಾಂ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಹಾಟ್ಸ್ಪಾಟ್.
ಅದೇ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಅಂದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ನೀವು ನೋಟ್ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಅವರೇ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ ಗುಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಹೌದು
ಈಗ ಇಬ್ಬಿಬ್ರು ಮೂರು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ನೆಟ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ದಾಗ ಬೇಡ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ದಾಗ ಬೇಡ. ಹೋಗ್ದೆ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಾರ್ದು ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Systems you're not using, just shut down. Shut down those systems. 2 members share one system. Don't keep on all the systems. Attention. ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೈನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಮೂರು ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀಗ
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಇದೆ.
ఇక్కడ start.
Come on, stop talking, all of you. I'm going to hand over the mic to sir now. Don't talk.
Okay, guys, see here. So I'll start with the Dart basics. Dart is the programming language, right? So I'll start with the basics. Everyone can see on the projector and you can write on your notebooks. Okay. Okay, everyone ready? Connect with the project.
Don't listen, all of you. Don't concentrate in systems.
You can all come here. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಹೌದು
Yeah, that no come listen. Be fast. Not visible, come this side. Answer. Don't talk. If I see somebody talking, I think you out. Don't talk. Visible? Let's start.
Okay, so this is the Dart application. Okay, once you install everyone installed the VS Code or anything, right? I will tell how to create the project. Once I will show here also. In the VS Code, press Control Shift P. Okay, and you will get search bar. Here search Dart. Okay, and you will get Dart new project. Okay, right everyone? Press Control Shift P and you will get the command palette. There you will search Dart DART, and you will get dot new project. Click on new project, click on console application, new project and console application, and select your folder where you want to save the projects or anything, and select the folder. Okay, and here we will give the name. This is the project name. So the Dart project will be created. This is not the Flutter project, this is a Dart project. Okay, you will get default this one. In the bin folder, you'll get project2 dot. This is the extension. For Java, it will be JAVA, right? So this is dot. So here we'll remove the default things. And the first one is the main function. So in any programming language, the compiler calls the main function to execute. So this is a void main. Void means the function does not return anything. We can remove the void also if we don't require. So in the main function, the first is built-in function, the print statement. So this is a print statement. It is an inbuilt function. We can access it everywhere, and we will run it. So hello world will be printed. And now we go to the variables. How to define variables? So you all know the basic programming, right? We are defining the variables and data types and all. So now variable a equal to 5 and int b equal to 10. So this var is the variable name, and this a is the variable name. It is a type, and this is the 5 is the value. We does not specifically it we will not specifically define it as an int. Okay, below we specifically defined as int. It is called, the first one is called type inference. We can store any value. If it 5, we can store any string value also here. Something string or character, anything in the var keyword. But if we define the int, then we cannot save any string other than the integer value. That's right. And we can print a. We'll save it and run it. So a is 5. And we'll print the b. It is 10. So now we will look at the this is data type of the a. It is showing int a. The Dart will automatically understand based on given value. It is saying that it is integer a. It is the integer value. Okay. Now if we assign any string value like string value, then we hover over it, and it is suggests that it is a string a. Now the data types. Dart have 5 data types. One is
There will be test also on third day.
int, second is string, third is boolean, fourth is double, and fifth one is dynamic. The first four are the basic data types, and dynamic is a special type of data type. Okay, so I have written these in after the two double slash. So that is commenting. We comment three types in the dot programming. One is double slash, second one is slash star, and will end with star and slash. So this is called bulk commenting. Multiple lines, if you want to comment the multiple lines, we will use slash star and star slash. Start with slash star and end with star slash. And the third one is triple forward slashes. So this is used for documentation. There are three types of commenting. Understand? Okay, done. Now we will see this printing of integer, string, boolean, and double. So integer type is an integer value, it stores the integer value. Strings is strings, any sentences or letters. Boolean is true or false. Double is the decimals value. Double stores the decimal values. Dynamic can store anything, any value. It can be integer or string or double or anything. So let's try it. In num equal to 5. So if you want to check the runtime type of this one, we will print this one num dot runtime type, and we will run the project. We'll get the integer. If you want to check the data type of this one, we will use the dot and get the method runtime type. Num dot runtime. It is also same, the integer. So name equal to yeah. Now print name. Okay, if you have two strings, one is name and second one is name2. One is Jack and second one is Mark. And we want to print the both as same. Concatenation using the plus sign and the variable name. Now you can print Jack Mark. If you want space, we can give here. So this is one type of concatenation, the string concatenation. And the second thing is the interpolation. We use the dollar sign the variable name and space $sign and variable. So this is also print the same. It is called string interpolation. If any variable, we use $sign and write the variable name in the single quotes. We can write string in single quotes or double quotes. It doesn't matter in the Dart. Okay. And suppose we have an integer value. Integer num equal to 5. And we can also interpolate the integer value. The number is $num. We will save and run. So the number is 5. We can interpolate any type of data, double or boolean value or integer value. We just use $sign and write the variable name. So this is called string interpolation. So done writing, everyone? Are you understanding? Yeah, if any doubts, you can raise hands and ask at any point of time. So here I have string first name, okay, the variable, and I want to write here Jax. The first offices, I want to write the first offices in the string, but it is considered this as the whole string, and this is not, so that it is giving the error. Expected to find the semicolon, but the error is wrong. So what we will do? We'll use backslash and apostrophe, okay, and write Jax. Now we'll print this one. Jax, okay. If you use double call, you no need to use the backward slash. You can use the apostrophe directly, okay. Only if you use the single quotes, then only we have to use backward slash. Understood? Okay, next is the type conversions. Now we want to convert a string to integer. What we'll do? Int name equal to. Now we have string name equal to 1. Okay. And now we convert that string. We want to convert that string into integer. So we'll do int name equal to int dot parse, and we'll give the name. We'll we have string and variable name is name, and we assign the 1, that is as a string. And now we are assigning the name. It is the name in the integer form, and we use the integer class, and we call the method called parse, and we will give the value. This is name. So now we will print the name int. And we will check the runtime type. So how to check the runtime type? Name int dot runtime type. So we'll save it and run it. So this print gives us 1 and the runtime type is integer. And we cannot, if the string is str like that, we cannot do the parsing. Let's try it. So what we will say? Format exception, because we cannot convert str to integer. Str is a string, right? The sentence. So we cannot convert str to the integer. So like same thing, we can convert 1.009 to double. Let's So what we have? We have a name 1.009 that is in the form of string, and we are assigning that and parsing that to the double called name underscore d, and we are printing the name underscore d and printing the runtime type of that one. So we'll get the double value, that is 1.009, and that data type is double. Understand? And if you want to convert any integers to string, it is easy. Okay, we have int a equal to 5. Then if you want to convert the integer to string, we'll use string name equal to 5 dot to string. We'll call the method dot to string. It will convert integer to the string. We can use assert function to check if it is correct or not. Name equal to 5. So exited without any error. If we get any error, it will show the exception here. Assert function it checks if the name and the output are same or not. Like if you give only 5 here, which is an integer, and name is a type string, then we will get an error. So let's see what is the error. So this name is a string. Sorry. So the runtime type is name. So it is both are strings. Okay. Now we'll go for operators. So there are almost 5 to 6 types of operators. First one is the basic operators. So what are the basic operators? Plus, positive, negative, and division and multiplication. These are the basic operators. Now we can do a basic operator. Int a equal to 5 and integer b equal to 6, and we will print a plus b. So we should get 11. Right. This is the basic operator, plus, minus, and multiplication and division. These are the basic operators. The second one is logical operators. So logical operators are and or. We'll check if 2, 2 is greater than 1 and we'll get the double ampersand to check the and condition, and 2 is less than 3, then we'll print something. Print it is an even something, anything we can print. So we'll run this one. So it is an even. This is AND operator. And if you use the double bars, so it's called the OR operator. Now we'll check what will be the output here. So because the both conditions are true, it is printing here. And we'll check here. And we'll get here 1. So it should be false, right? Because 2 is greater than 1. And yeah, it should it should print, because if any one is true, the answer is true. Okay. And if you use AND operator, then it should not print anything. That's right, because one statement is true and one statement is correct. For AND operator to work, both should be the true ones. Understand? Everybody understood? Am I audible to you? The last. Okay, third one is unary operators. So what are unary operators? We can see that like integer I equal to 5, and we can print I plus plus. What will be the answer? 5 or 6? It will, the answer will be 5, because it is the post increment. If it is pre increment, yeah, plus plus. 5. So answer will be 6. So everybody knows it, right? If you know, I don't waste time here in this basics. Can I skip? Or should I continue? Skip? Huh? Raise hands if you want to continue. You can raise hands. See, because these are the basic things. Skip. Who wants to continue? Yeah, you can raise hands. No problem. Okay, I will continue. Okay. Okay. So we'll continue with the loops, right? For loop, while loop, and so the basic the standard for loop. For will define any variable var I equal to 0 and semicolon, and we'll write the condition I less than or equal to 10, and we'll increment it by 1. And we'll print the values. So what should it print? 0 to 10. So 0 to 10, because the condition is less than or equal to 10. If we remove the less than, then it will be 9. So 9. This is a standard for loop, and we have while loop. So while loop is while, here is it is a condition, and this is the body. So while I less than 5, I want to print I value. So we have to define here the type. Maybe so look here. First we are defining an integer I equal to 5. Then while I is less than 5, we are printing I, and then we are incrementing the I by 1. Okay. Now we will run this one. So it will give error. Why? Huh? While loop is condition false. It will go infinite, right? If you do I equal to 0, then we look at. So the answer will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the do while loop also works same. The condition will be come afterwards. First will be do and while. So this is just a first, the body will come and the condition will come afterwards. So it will also print 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So understand? And we have one loop called for in loop. For in loop. So first, we will define one array or list. Array it is called array in the other programming languages, but in that it is called list. List names equal to something like Jack. So this is the list of names. So all are strings, and we want to print everything. So what we will do? We'll for var I in names, we want to print the I. How it will work? For variable I, it can be any variable. Variable I in names. So it will iterate through every item and it will print I. Okay. We'll run this one now. And you can see Jack, Mark, and John. Okay. We can also do like this one, like using the standard for loop. How will you do using the standard for loop? For a standard for loop, I equal to int I equal to 0, I less than names dot length and I plus plus. And we will print I. Sorry. So that is the index it is printing, right? Names of I. So you can do like this also, right? 1 minute. You can do like this also. The names of the index. We can take the index. So this is a for in loop. And we have for each loop. We'll take the list name and dot. These are we have the lot of methods. We can use for each method. For each element, we can print name, this element. And we get Jack Mark. So what's happening here? We are taking the names and calling the method for each. Okay, this is a list method. For each the list method, and we are giving here anonymous function. It's called anonymous function because we haven't specified any name for this function. Okay, we can so this is also a function, right? For each element, it is taking the argument element and it is printing the every element for each element. So it is printing Jack, Mark, and John. So these are the loops and condition. If else condition, you know, right? If else if and okay, and switch case. Anyone who don't know switch case conditions? Raise your hands. Switch case condition, you know, right? Yes or no? Okay. I can skip that one, right? So now the functions. We'll create one function. Void function 1 and we'll open and close parenthesis. And this is the void function. It does not return anything. And we are just printing something. Printing some 10. And every function has to be called, right? So we call it from the main function. We'll call function 1 and end with semicolon. So it should print n. And functions take parameters, right? So there are two types of parameters. One is positional parameters and another is named parameters. Now what is positional parameters? And I want int 6 here Like we'll do one exercise like calculate the area. Calculate area. So what is the area? Double area equal to, we can take this as side. Side in side. Can take this 9. So here we are calculating the area of the square, and we'll call this from the main function area, and we'll give the integer side. So it is showing its error here because it is the conditional parameter or positional parameter. It should be given, otherwise it will show error. And I will provide the side as 5. So here we have to print area, right? Okay. So now if we run this, we should get 25, right? 25. So this is the positional argument. And if you given in the square bracket, this is called named parameters. So it is giving error because it should, there is a concept called null safety. I will tell you. I will tell you further after this one. Okay. This is called a named parameters. In the named parameters, we cannot give direct value. We have to give the name and value. Okay. We have to specify side and give the value. In positional argument, we need not to give any name. And if you want to combine the positional argument and the name parameters, that's also we can do. We can do int width, comma, int length. See here, what should be the arguments here to pass to the function calculate area? So that's what should be like that. How should be written? Directly the values, or we have to name it. Anyone? Any values, you can tell any values. So first the width is the positional argument, so we have to directly supply the value. Okay, and this is the named parameter or the optional parameters. It should be given, it can be given or not. So that's why it's not showing the error. But if we run this one, we'll get the error. So it will get the error. Null check operator used on a null value. So we are checking this using this question mark. We are specifying that length can be null. It can be null. If you remove this question mark, it will give the error. The parameter length can't have a value of null because of its type, but the implicit default value is null. If we give the question mark, then we are telling that it can be null. Okay. Then we are not passing the value to it. That's why it's giving the error. If you want to pass the value, you have to name it length and give 6. Now if we run it, we will get the answer. Okay. And this exclamation mark we are using, it is checking that it is not null. Okay. And this null check operator used on a null value. There was error, right? When we have, I'll show it. So it is given that null check operator used on a null value. The length value is null, and we have used the exclamation mark. Okay, we specified that it is not a null value. So it is giving the unhandled exception that null check operator used on a null value. Here what we can give here, if so int length, we can give a default value here. Okay. Whenever we don't provide value, it will take as a 8. Now we'll run this one. See, only we have provided the width that is 6, and we did not pass any length, and it take default value as 8. If we pass the value like 6, and it should take the 6 value, it will not take the default value. So answer is 36. Understood? So you understood the null check operator, right? The question mark, null safety. It is called null safety. And one more thing, we want to provide the positional arguments, but it should be optional. How we can do? We can give it in the square brackets. So what? What is this? So I think there is some error, but we can give in the square bracket if you want the positional argument to be optional. Okay, that's it. Nothing more in that. So this is about the functions and the arguments. And the next one is so up to now understand everything, or if you have any doubts you can ask me now. So this is the basics of Dart, and Dart is object oriented programming, right? So you can create one class. Class is like a blueprint, like, and you can consider it a factory of the pen factory. Class students. So this is class. We will use the class keyword and define this is the class name. Students is the class name. Here we can give the variables like string name and integer id. So we are getting error. Why we are getting error? Anyone can tell me? Integer? No. We are getting this error because it is showing that it can be null. Name must be initialized. Okay, otherwise it will be null. So to initialize, what we will do, we'll take the students constructor and we'll use this dot name and this dot height. So we use the late keyword to initialize afterwards because we are initializing this afterward, so we have to use the late keyword. Okay, this is called constructor. It is same as the class name and open and close parenthesis, and this is the named arguments, right? This dot name, this means um, uh, it is foreign to students class, right? And in the other class, yeah, anything other class like user, we can extend the student class. There we can use this parameter. Whenever we extend the class, this is called the parents class, and this is called user is the child class. Here we can create an object. How to create an object? We use user and anything, we will give the user name and the class. So this is the object creation. This user is the object of a class user. This is how we create an object. Now we can access user dot and we can also create students class. Students is equal to students, and in the students we can give the name and ID. So name is Jack. So these are the named arguments, right? So we have to define its name is Jack and ID is P, because ID is the type of integer. Then we can print something is missing here. Anyone can tell what I mistook here? Anyone?
We have to create main class.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. So here we assign user dot name, and we are printing here. So Jack. So what we are doing here? First, students is the parent class and user is the child class. We are extending user with the students class, and here we are creating the object of the user in the main function. Okay, so the user object can access the name parameter which is in the students class, right? Because we are extending students class here. So every parameter and methods we can use using the user object. So we are just here user dot name, and we are assigning the value Jack, and we are just printing the user name. And also if students the constructor is given, we can also do like this. Can create student object, and we will assign the names. Name as Jack and ID as 6. Now we will call students dot name. So that is Jack. If you call students dot ID, that is 6. We are assigning through values through the constructor here. Students, we created this students constructor with the named parameters, and we are passing the values from here. In the main function, we are creating the students object and passing the values and printing the ID and name. So this is called in a class inheritance. So this much is important for the Flutter development, for the actual UI. So this is all the basics that you should know. Okay. So now from the next session we will start with the Flutter. Okay, the actual development Flutter. These are all the basics. So any doubts in this? So one more thing. 5 minutes. Okay. We have the students class here, and here we have one method called like something get grades. So the methods also can be accessed using the child class. Here we create user dot get grades. The methods can also be called. Then 5 and null. So this is printing 5 and this is printing null. Okay. So this is the basic thing you have to know to develop the actual applications. So if anything comes in the middle, I will explain with on the go. Okay. So any doubts? We will take a break and we'll start at 1:30. Yeah. 40 minutes break. Lunch break. Yes, ಹಂಗೆ ಏನೇನೋ ಏನೇನೋ ತಪ್ಪ నేను ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಇವತ್ತು ಬೀದರ್ಲಿಂದ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದೆ
ಸರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್ ಬರಕ್ಕೆ
1:30 40 minutes
40 minutes ಹೇಳಿದೆ.
Yes, all of you give your attendance and come back at 1:45. Okay, after session we'll start again. Have a lunch and come back.
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಫ್ಲಟರ್ UI ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಡಾಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ UI ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್
Everyone sign here.
ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೋಡಿ ಮಾಡಿ